Hi, and welcome back.
Hello.
We've been here now for 9 weeks.
Yeah.
It's about time to plan the return trip. So this video will be all about showing you the plan we've made in order to get back.
It's gonna show set up the route we have planned to show every stop we think are our best solution to get actually home, and because we have some pretty big challenges with getting home because there's no hotels and Switzerland has some issues there as well.
That's true. So we're going to take you through the whole experience here, but we will be driving two cars.
Yes.
Since we are in the middle of this Corona situation, both of us work here in Spain, and we need to be able to get back. So we are taking both the Panamera and the Taycan, driving them both to Norway. We're going to stay in Norway for about 3 or 4 weeks before we head back down again. And since we don't know anything about border controls and flights is the most important thing, since we most likely will be able to get into the country with residencia, but still it's going to be a safari.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be some challenges underway.
Yeah. Let's dig straight into this. So we've made an Excel sheet like we did on the way back. Now we put the whole plan here into an Excel sheet, which we will be sharing in the description. So you can go into the description, click the link, and you will see the whole plan. And the important thing here is that we would like your feedback. We now have made this plan, but it's not like we cannot change it. And we know that we have a lot of viewers now who have special expertise and local expertise along the route that we're going to drive. So we would love to have your feedback in the comments, so we can have make the best trip possible for our return.
Absolutely.
Let's dig into this. So as you can see here, we will start down here in the Murcia region, which we are currently in, La Manga Club. And we will drive to a town called Ribaroja de Turia, which is 285 kilometers away, for our first charging session. There we have a 50 kilowatt charger that we found through Electromaps. Most likely we will spend an hour and a half or maybe even 2 here to charge up before we head on for a little pit stop in Tarragona. We have only 130 kilometers to Barcelona, so in range mode we could probably even make this, but as I said, I'm not driving range mode anymore with the Taycan. That's not happening.
No.
So we're going to stop here in Tarragona for a quick juice up before we head the last 130 or the next 130 kilometers up to our first Ionity charger in Barcelona. We've been there before.
Yes.
And from this point on, we have actually found a route which will take us all the way home purely on Ionity. It's a bit of a safari. It's a bit of a detour. As you can see here on the map, we would, in a perfect scenario, we would head towards Montpellier, which is in this area. And then we would drive up to Lyon, and then just head directly into Switzerland.
That is pretty funny, actually, because why are we not taking the route through Switzerland?
That's true. So Switzerland has these funny rules now, or interesting rules, I would say, during coronavirus, where they don't accept anyone to stop in Switzerland. So they actually check that you have enough fuel to go all the way through Switzerland without stopping, and you have to sign a document saying that you promise not to stop while you drive through Switzerland.
That is insane.
Not possible with
No.
with an electric car, I should say, at all. So our route instead will, but I should say that that's not the reason why we're not driving through Switzerland, because we would. The problem is Montpellier. This southern area of France is just it's just not possible to drive with an electric car basically at the moment. So that's why. So instead, our route is going to go up through Garonne, Montpartier, Bois-Mande, and we will finally head towards Neumaus here, which is here, I believe, before we head east and more or less directly into Germany. Yeah. And from there on, it's all familiar ground. It's a lot of stops that we have been at before. I can take up this, bring up this window to show the rest of the trip. So Bruchsal, Lutterberg, Malberg West, sorry, I forgot that one. Luneberger Heide, Neumünster, all familiar places, all chargers that we actually used on our way down. So,
also, you can see in the spreadsheets following that it has 2 columns, or some places 3 columns as well, because it's 3 different options of chargers we have to choose between of. We have not decided like which one of them to use, but most likely the column B, but it's open optional.
Yeah. And as you can see, we are going through Denmark, and we will drive through Sweden. We hate ferries just as much this time as on the way down, so we're avoiding that at all costs. Drive through Copenhagen, head over to Helsingborg, one quick stop up in Spekerø, Sweden, before we actually drive all the way home to Oslo, Norway.
Yeah.
16 charge stops. I'm guessing this detour that you see here through France will cost us 5 to 6 hours extra.
Okay. And how many hours of driving are you expecting?
38. Well, we will probably try to get that down a little bit. Google Maps suggests 38 hours. Then I would say that it's about 33, 34 in reality, unless something happens. But we have to add about 10 to 12 hours of charging.
Yeah.
I guess that these first chargers in Spain, 50 kilowatt chargers, is going to cost us quite a bit in time-wise. From then on, I'm guessing that our average stops would be around 30 minutes something. So let's just call that 45 minutes, including driving off the highway back on the motorway again, and so on. 45 minutes in average. That leaves us with 12 hours of charging for the whole trip, which again takes us to about 3.1 days of driving.
That's gonna be interesting to see if we can make it in 3.1 days or not.
That will be interesting.
Because we cannot stay in any hotels, and those hotels that are open doesn't have any chargers, so it wouldn't be a point to stay there. So we're probably gonna use the point where you just sleep in the car.
Exactly, but that's a good point actually. If any one of you know about hotels, we don't know exactly yet what will make sense, but if any one of you know about hotels that are open, even hotels that have chargers would be preferably, please comment down below, because that would be useful. We don't really want to sleep in the car, but if we have to, we have to. So we'll bring some gear to be able to do that.
Yeah. And when you're speaking of gear, this is gonna be pretty interesting, because we're definitely not taking a flatbed again one more time. So since we have a Panamera, we can actually tow the Taycan if something happens.
I don't think we need that this time around.
Hopefully
I think it
not.
should be possible to
Yeah.
to do it without, even though it will be a safari. But we do have that option. So yeah, that's an emergency backup. Cool. So guys, we would love your feedback. Please comment down below. You are the local experts. You have a lot of detailed information about this route. I guess I see that we have viewers from all over Europe. So we'd love to hear your suggestions. And we still have about 1.5 weeks at least before we will hit the road, and we can plan this further.
Absolutely.
And during that time, things are opening up a little bit now here in Spain. So during that time, we will now hopefully be able to make a couple more of the videos that we have planned. That was very difficult to make now in this closed down Corona times. But now things are easier. And
yeah, and one last thing: you're driving back 2 cars, and you're only gonna bring back 1 car to Spain. Which one?
I don't know. But I have an idea. And I think I have a we'll make a separate video about this.
Yes.
We'll make a separate video. It's going to be interesting. Let's just say that.
Stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So comment, like, subscribe. Looking really forward to your comments. See you.
See ya.